Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video over the channel by the name of LeaIsChill. Today we are here to try out a brand new game. This game dropped exclusively over here in Canada, and it's be coming out, I believe, in May, over here in the main market. So this is Solo Leveling Arise. Basically, it seems to be Netmarble's take on the Honkai Impact 3rd kind of style of gameplay, with a couple of different elements that change things up and kind of make it very fun. So far I've had a really good time with the game, and I think that it's made to kind of be mostly a side game where you're butting up against the hardest content and trying to clear it. I think that where this game will struggle most is in the ability to play it consistently and to be able to continue to feel investment in it when you are just doing dailies for weeks at a time. So we'll kind of talk about what the gameplay is like and kind of chat about all that it is. But honestly, I've given this game probably 10 to 15 hours right now, and it's come out to be one of my favorite kind of gachas that exist right now. And so let's just rock with it. So right here, we have a bunch of the different game modes. I already did a lot of my dailies for today. So I did the gates that are below, which is basically like your dispatches and then your like stages to clear, of which once you clear them, you can instantly dispatch like Reinvoke used to have. So this game, once you do all of your daily gate keys, then you can log in like once every hour and a half and do basically all these dispatches and get a bunch of really good items out of it. So kind of low key, you can just pop in every so often. The gameplay itself, we're actually gonna try out. I wanted to rerun a lot of this chapter 8 stuff. This is basically gonna be the finale of the anime in its current season 1. So it'll have a lot of those spoilers that you would kind of expect out of it. So if you haven't seen episode 12 of Solo Leveling season 1, or you don't care about spoilers, feel free to just keep on rocking on through and we'll rock it and try it out. Now, I read Solo Leveling when it was coming out since basically the first Jeju Island raid to when it ended. So I was a major fan of the Solo Leveling franchise. Seeing it like actually animated like this in like a Mangamotion style is very cool. Because this is actually using the original art from the manhwa, the webtoon, and then animating it in kind of a fancy way. Oh, so fucking cool, man. And here's kind of how the gameplay looks. It's a third-person action-style RPG where you have two main abilities in the bottom right, and you have a weapon switching system where you have two constantly. You'll always be able to do follow-up attacks as well in the form of the popping up orange attacks in the bottom right. So a lot of this game is finding out how to link your skills so that you're getting as much DPS as possible. And they do have like a stagger gauge similar to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Final Fantasy XVI, for example. So a lot of bosses are break through the super armor by beating that stagger meter, basically. I've gotten very lucky so far with my pulls, so we're rocking with two SSR weapons for Sun Jingwoo right now. And honestly, you can kind of see he's destroying. Hell yeah. On to the next one. And on the right, you can see that I have 3 of the other hunter styles that kind of pop up and play. I usually leave them on auto because they'll just use their skills when they're linking with your main party. So I just let them automatically clear and kind of do their ultimates and stuff on the side. Basically, the game is split into 2 different styles of gameplay. It's what we just did, the Sun Jin-woo, you're playing as mostly the main character with the 3 supports on the side. And the other style is you're using your 3 hunters you pulled for as your main characters, and they have like half as many features as Sung Jin-woo himself, but in that way, they're kind of made to be like a swapping crew. So you're constantly swapping and changing the character between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like Genshin kind of does, if that makes sense. It's very cool in that way, but you can see I got 2 SSR weapons. It's actually kind of funny that I'm right here on him. I'm him. Oh, that's so dumb. All right, just go into the next one here. And they do seem to have a couple of like game original characters. There's a SSR that's blonde, and there's the blue-haired girl that's currently on my team that are not from the actual webtoon. So it seems like this game is going to be one of those things where it's expanding on the universe on top of also being like a really good adaptation of the main story. Kind of similar to the Ragnarok story inside Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. And in that way, they could do a lot of fun stuff with it and really expand on the story as they put out the, like, I believe Solo Leveling is getting 3 cores worth of anime. So they could really use this next couple of years to expand out the story and make some really interesting, like, content out of it, really. Hell yeah. And as you can see, the F and C skills that I have in the bottom right is what swaps my main weapon and main normal attacks. So you're kind of always having 2 options inside combat. I like this one the best, this Scythe, because this Scythe is basically like an AoE focused group damage dealer, while the other one is like a shielding ability. And that could have been extreme dodge. They have like the Bayonetta style perfect dodge system, so that's kind of what I usually prioritize. He's gonna keep on spinning, so I'm just gonna let him keep on rocking there. I fought this enemy a lot, so I kind of know how he works. And good to go. We're probably gonna be able to get an ultimate here. Pop. Slam. And finish with an ult. Stab and pull. Yeah! That's such a stylish finish too. Honestly, you can kind of feel how the game really has a solid flow of combat. Having the 3 different supports that have different elements on them, having your main character have so many different options and stuff like that, it really gives you the dopamine of playing as a character who has basically everything. And I haven't unlocked the next stage, which is the Shadow Monarch stage, which would let you get shadows. So I currently am missing a couple of the main features of the game, unfortunately. There's like other ways to power up your party that I don't currently have unlocked, but that's just gotten via clearing the main chapters. And so I haven't been able to beat it because I only got over the end of this chapter right here today, which is why we're also showcasing this. I wanted to show off the final boss on this stage because it actually, when I was clearing it, it actually got my heart pumping properly. I started to really understand how the game works. And I think that's really cool. It's weird to say that like the first 15 hours of the game really feels like tutorials, but you don't really kind of get what the flow is supposed to be until you lock in and understand the break gauge on top of what sets off the orange combos. Like the orange combos go off based on your weapon switching, go off based on the skills you're using. And so you're kind of trying to prioritize getting all 3 versions of the orange follow-ups. And to do that, you need to understand the combos and how to get them off. I believe one of them goes off when you weapon switch or pop a certain style of aerial airborne combo. One of them is a follow-up when they're knocked high airborne, and one of them is a perfect evasion follow-up. So you just kind of gotta come to learn. I missed that perfect evasion, unfortunately. That one's high airborne follow-up, so he does the big slam. It's the sky one, but I didn't actually knock him up, so I didn't get the follow-up. I missed the dodge there. There's times where I just can't really lock down the timing. But I've played a lot of Honkai Impact, and so you can kind of see the bones of what Honkai Impact was inside this game, and it pretty much adds a lot of the follow-up mechanics that you would expect out of Honkai Impact in really intriguing and fun ways. He's gonna do the big ball forward, so I was actually okay if I just dodged the once, but I keep on panicking and missing my dodges. Here, let's keep an eye on him. Oh, I had knocked down there. I should have known. Slam! And missed that one. A little bit later, I think. And there we go. Another one down. Is that going to give me the extra star I was missing? I like how it's also doing like the pop-ups that they pop up inside the anime, but it feels a lot more genuine to the webtoon. I'm playing in Korean as well. I really want to see this voiced in Korean.
오늘 일일 퀘스트도 안 하지 않았나?
Wait, I didn't do my dailies yet.
이거 좀 아슬아슬한.
Oh no.
괜찮은 전투였어.
That's me when I'm like 11 p.m. and I realize I didn't log into Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains. See, I would say Honkai Star Rail, but I pretty much haven't done dailies in Star Rail for probably 3 weeks now. I haven't even gotten to Panacani just yet, even though I'd like to. Unfortunately, the game does have a couple of like loading troubles. I'm inside Canada, so there shouldn't be a lot of those like connection troubles, because I believe the only servers that are up right now are Canada and Thailand, which is where like the servers are run out of. It's super weird that I keep on having this trouble where every time I leave a stage, it loads for a certain amount of time. But from here on out, we're just going to go straight into each one of the stages. So once we clear one, we're going to jump right into the next one and kind of rock through until we hit Ignis. So let's get to it. Instead of letting me like load out and wait the whole time. These guys like have the color scheme of Artorias of the Abyss as well, so it's kind of sick. I really like the like high fantasy designs inside solo leveling. They kind of made their own version of snow elves. They made their own version of like knights, but they're very much like Dark Souls style knights. And you don't really see the human features inside the knights that they're fighting. It's mostly basically like suits of armor that are chonky. Either way, like that style of high fantasy, I feel like I kind of fell in love with. Early on, when I was reading stuff like, or watching stuff like Hal No Grimgar and stuff like that, I never really got into Game of Thrones. I never really got into any of those. So I prefer a lot of like super high fantasy, where it feels like they're against almost like inhuman creatures, similar to this, where it's just like suits of armor. Granted, I say that, but one of my favorite arcs from this series is the... I guess, how would you refer to it? It's like the Red King, basically, the Dragon King. And a lot of that features some very like human-esque combat. So maybe it isn't the case, I just like the high fantasy deep colors that they put out for like the human designs they're doing here. I have to really narrow it down to see what I love about the high fantasy that solo leveling does in particular, because I bust out laughing when I see there's like a jobber man who's his teammate who wears like super heavy armor, and he makes me laugh every time. All right, and we're into the next one. Yeah, I believe his name was Yu Jinho, as like the jobber man who wears the heavy armor, but he's so funny to me because he is just very sincere and very wholesome. So the fact that the main character, who used to be sincere and wholesome, kind of sees himself in Jinho and makes a bit of it to have a lot of fun, kind of playing tricks on him and stuff, it makes me very happy. Unfortunately, his role as the story goes on kind of diminishes because everything gets so hardcore. Oh, he's gonna do the spin, unfortunately. Oh, it's not the spin. The spin will pretty much guarantee you're gonna have to wait another 10 seconds before you hit him again. So I'm very much traumatized by it, if you can't tell. Can I get the dodge? Oh no, he was frozen, so he didn't actually give me the dodge. I'm basically using this crushing blow because I fought this guy so many times that I want to make sure I break him so he's not doing the spin and taking my time away. Like this. Alright, I'm just gonna do my full combo. I think he's actually finishing the spin right now, so we're good. On to the next one. There's a second boss here. This is the stage I got stuck on for a while because I didn't have the DPS to finish it. So I started to get really efficient with how I do my weapon swaps. And slam. Should do an extra like HP bar pretty much. Bam. And I missed that one. Unfortunately, his break bar isn't actually popping up just yet. I believe his only starts when he does a certain attack, and it's not the ball one, it's one of the other ones. Nice. And unfortunately, it swapped, so I couldn't get my slam in. Oh. Shadow step. Big crushing blow. I think I'm actually going to lose the 3rd star again, unfortunately. Down. The amount of times that sometimes during a combo, I'm mashing shift so that it goes off for the next frame, but I end up getting sticky keys to go off on PC is actually way too crazy. It's kind of funny. Right there, I became conscious that I was going to get sticky keys if I let it rock too much. Oh, but here we are. Time to move on to the next stage. You guys ready? I know I am. Did I get the 3rd star? Come on. I actually did. I didn't take damage more than 13 times. Excellent. That will not be the case in the next one. Alright, so this is a stage that I only cleared today for the first time. So it's pretty much on par with my current level, and it's very difficult. But let's try and rock it and see how it goes. They even let it have like a little introduction cutscene too. And look at him. He is so Artorias as well. If that thing on his head was blue, hell yeah. And he always starts with that. So you can always get a shadow step to start off. So I believe because he has a little symbol that says like something about him being immune to some sort of dark, I try and prioritize keeping my fire weapon out at all times. I actually don't know if it's him saying that he's poisoned by my dark attacks, but I'm just not going to let it happen anyway. He's going to follow up one more time. Nice. Slam. I didn't get the dodge on that one. Oh, unfortunate. This is going to be the AoE. No, it's his double stab. That's his direct... Oh, no, that's the AoE. I thought that was going to be his dash. Damn it. That means I'm not going to get my 3rd star here. Let's break him. Come on. Crushing blow, please. Nice. We're stuck on the darkness weapon right now, unfortunately, but we're just going to pop our ult while he's doing this crazy AoE. I don't know the timing on this one, so I'd really prefer... Oh no, it did no damage because he was mid... Oh, okay, that's bad. That's actually so bad. I'm not even on track for beating him properly. That's the dash, and then he does that. I think he has no follow-up after that, though. I missed that one. Slam. He's gonna do single poke, and I missed the dodge! Alright, daily quest completion. Which, he said he actually didn't do his dailies yet, so he shouldn't be able to pop that. Oh, no, he used the Getsuga. As you can tell, like, he has so many mechanics that I'm trying to notice them as they pop up and still missing the dodges. Which also makes this so fun. I think that this style of difficulty, it teaches you a lot more of the boss mechanics than Souls does. I think you're just kind of watching for startups and dodges in Souls. I obviously just lost, we're gonna rock this again. But in this game, it feels like, because you have a limit of 3 dodges and those are the only ones you have, you're a lot more focused on the idea of extreme evasion. And if there are risky attacks that you don't know if you can dodge, getting out like an MMO style where you feel like this is, I can't counter this, I need to walk away from this big circle he's doing. It's a lot more MMO-esque, and in that way, I think it's a lot stronger for a game that's trying to do that with its narrative as well. This is basically like an anime as if the world was an actual MMO, right? And you really do feel that as you play this. You have characters that have certain specializations, certain ones are tanks, certain ones are assassins, certain ones are ranged mages, and you can really plan your teams around the different content. Obviously, because the main character, Sung Jin-woo, is meant to be all the roles, he kind of fulfills everything. I have the free shield on my C, I have the AoE damage on my F, I have the crushing damage on my Q, and so he's made to have every one of those roles in one character. I recently was watching these Knights of the Apocalypse, and they kind of do the same thing. I got hit by the full thing. They kind of do the same thing. The characters in it are basically an RPG protagonist cast. And, oh, that hurts. And so you have like a Saboteur, you have a buff user, you have a healer, and they're all made to complement one another in their combat and be able to beat certain bosses. And in that way, I think it's so fun to watch and read, because it feels, I don't want to say like realistic to the things that we know as very formalized. I just got hit by the full thing there. By the like the formalized style of RPG party that we get inside Final Fantasies. But also shows like why those roles matter inside these stories. I don't have a dodge right now, so I'm just running in a circle around him. Unfortunately, he got frozen right when I was doing my dodge, and so he didn't actually attack the time that I thought he was going to. That's AoE! Okay, good thing I got away from it. Crush him. I think we win here. So I'm gonna do this. This. Get... Oh, I actually can't weapon swap right now. Where is he? Okay, not too bad. Where is he? There! He got me. Whew! Get in! Nice! I got it! Dodge! Thank you! Thank you! That would have been a death. And kill, please! Nice. Whew! Whew! See, it gets your heart pumping, man! And there's the shot. I wish that was slow motion, but... Nice!
이 아이템은 타인에게 양도할 수 없다.
And there you go. I do like the 2D animation style of the main anime right now a lot better than the 3D style that they're going with this game in particular, but I can still acknowledge the fact that like the effort they're putting into like actually directing and properly scaling these cutscenes makes this game a lot more enjoyable for me as well. Beating that boss and then getting a proper cutscene that's like, yes, I did it, I fucking did it, feels really good. And obviously it's a hard boss, so clearing that for the first time today felt very satisfying. That is kind of the way that this game seems to flow. And it really will depend on how much story there will be in the high levels and how much they've actually adapted into this game so far. I actually don't know how far it goes, but in its current state, it's basically log in, do a couple of dailies, upgrade your characters in a bunch of ways. You get money very, very slowly. Unfortunately, money is like the main thing, so they even added like an idle system to get money as you log in daily. It is basically like log in daily, do a couple of things, and spend like an hour on the game, if not less than that. And then on like once a week, you can decide to go and rush more story stuff and see how much you can clear and how good you can do. And in that way, there's a really good gameplay flow. I think they could really do with a couple more like co-op segments. They could really do with a couple more engaging activities aside from just encore missions are artifacts, gates are mainline grinding, Hunter Archive is character stories, which I've cleared all of them now, and Battlefield of Trials is basically hardest content as far as you can get daily or certain seasons as it goes. So it has all of the bones of a game that's absolutely stellar as it first comes out. I just wonder what the game will look like on its first anniversary and how much extra content this game will have versus this moment and the first anniversary. A lot of these games kind of come out and then don't have any changes between those 2 times. And when that happens, it's grounds for a dead game. So I'm going to play this for myself. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to play at my own pace. I'm not going to wail. I'm not going to go anything crazy. But let's try and do some update videos and check out the game as it has the hardest fights in the anime and see how much fun we can have. For now, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.